Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Emperor Poxal and welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. For today's video, we are going to be reviewing the brand new Demon Slayer movie, Mugen Train I think it's called. And let me tell you, this movie was incredible. Between the fantastic story, the fantastic animation, amazing characters, and great OST, I loved the movie from start to finish. Now, I do have some criticisms, but I also have a lot of praise to get into in this video. But I will say this, by the end of the movie, after the climax, during the movie theater, I was just sitting there in shock while the credits played. Like, my friend was sitting next to me and I didn't even say a word. I was just staring at the screen in shock of what I had just witnessed, because it was just incredible, to say the least. But before we get into the overall review and the recap section of this video, let me quickly tell you guys a few small things. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys smash that subscribe button. I post Chainsaw Man videos and Bleach videos and any anime I like onto the channel, and I would greatly appreciate if you helped me hit this 1,000 subscriber goal. Also, if you guys want more Demon Slayer content, drop a like. If this video hits 30 likes, I plan to make more Demon Slayer content in the future. So yeah, just drop a like if you guys want to see more Demon Slayer on the channel. I would greatly and gladly make. Anyway, with all further ado, let's get on to the review. So the film starts off right where the show ended. Pretty much they're trying to get onto the train, but the train already started leaving, so they're immediately running towards the train. Tanjiro and Nosuke both get on there, but then classic Zenitsu was kind of falling behind because he was a little scared, and as he's running up, he's like freaking out. We get that stupid Zenitsu face, and it's really hilarious and funny to start off the film with this comedic moment. Anyway, eventually Zenitsu gets onto the train, and they end up walking down the carts looking for Rengoku, the Fire Hashira. Now, once they find the Fire Hashira, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like Rengoku's introduction. It was just him saying, "Delicious, delicious," as he ate a bunch of food, and then after he knows Tanjiro and Tanjiro introduced them, he just was shouting, and he was overly positive, it felt like. Like, something felt off about him, and I didn't really understand his character. Now, little did I know, Rengoku becomes one of my favorite characters in Demon Slayer by the end of the film. So he does get better, and I start to like him a lot more. Anyway, as the film continues and they start talking, Tanjiro doesn't get the information he wants from Rengoku, but Rengoku does ask Tanjiro if he wants to be his apprentice. Now, Tanjiro's immediately like, "No way, Jose," but then we get a really cool moment. So it's been like 5 minutes of the film, no action, no anything. It's just been some exposition about the abilities, the breathing techniques and stuff like that, and an overall introduction, like a bigger introduction to Rengoku's character. But that's been about it for the movie so far. But then Rengoku smells a demon. And as soon as he smells a demon, he goes from being a shouty glory guy to being immediately quiet. And he's quiet, and he's serious, and he turns to the demon that he sees, and he's like, "I almost didn't sense you," and he immediately cuts the demon up with that amazing Demon Slayer animation, and it looks fantastic. It really does, and I love that scene. It was great. It was good to kind of mix up the exposition with some action, and then he turns around and he's like, "I sense another one." Now this time, Inosuke and Tanjiro go with him, and he sees that a human being is about to be eaten alive by a demon. So Inosuke runs in there, Tanjiro's like, "Watch out, you're gonna hurt the human." But then Inosuke makes a mistake, and the demon's about to hurt Inosuke. But then Rengoku's like, "I am your opponent." And faster than Tanjiro can see, faster than the viewer can see, he zooms in there, grabs Inosuke, runs back, then grabs the human in danger, runs back, and then runs straight for the demon, killing the demon. And it is so cool, it is epic, and I love that little small part of the fight. Now, as the film progresses even further, the train conductor comes around and stamps their tickets with the hole puncher. But little did the cast know that a demon had blood art, spell or techniques attached to the tickets to make them go to sleep and go to the dream world with a dream that the demon had already set up. So this is a pretty cool plot line. They end up going to their dreams and they each see something interesting. Now I'm kind of going to skip over Inosuke and Zenitsu's. Although their dreams are funny, they don't really matter that much, except one thing. This whole time Inosuke has called the train the main villain. He's trying to race the train, classic Inosuke, and that part's funny. And inside of his dream he's fighting the train, but he's having a blast because he's calling everybody his minions. And then Zenitsu's dream is just basically him with Nezuko as his girlfriend and stuff like that. It's kind of funny, but yeah, you guys get the point. Anyway, what really matters and what really stood out was Tanjiro's dream and also Rengoku's dream. Now, the author does a great job with Rengoku's dream. The author and director choose to use Rengoku's dream as a way to present the backstory, and it really helps somebody's backstory not be really cheesy or get in the way of that action. It helps with the flow of the film because it actually matters, because he's dreaming about one of the most important moments in his life, and we're gonna get into his dream in a little bit. But Tanjiro, he dreams as if his family was alive. And immediately as he's in the forest, he sees his family and he starts crying, he starts bawling his eyes out, and it's a really emotional moment. What makes it more emotional is when he wakes up, when he's trying to wake up and he has to say goodbye to his family. Because he realizes this is the life that he should have had. This is the life that he was meant to have, that any normal human being was supposed to have, but he couldn't have it. He couldn't have one bit of it. He realized that wasn't fair. That this was the life that everybody was supposed to live out. That they were supposed to get this fantastic life, but they never got it. And it was a really great moment, because the music was playing, it was emotional, the animation was playing, because he turned back and he was just pretty much like, I wish this is how things could be. I'm just gonna have to push forward and go back to reality, but this is the life I wanted. I would have loved to chop up and make charcoal my whole life. That would have been amazing if I still had my family. I'm not gonna lie, some dust got in my eye in that movie theater, and it's getting in my eye right now too. I love that moment. It was just so fantastic, and that's why I got straight to it. Now, the second best dream, being Rengoku's, being his backstory, was quite interesting, because this is the moment that I started to kind of like Rengoku and understand why he's shouting and why he's the way he is. And basically, to put it into small words, pretty much, just a quick summary, pretty much, his mother passed away, and because his mother passed away, his father went from being super nice to everybody to being mean, to giving up on life, being depressed, and saying there's no point to life. His father is the former Fire Hashira, and when he became a Fire Hashira, when Rengoku became a Fire Hashira, he was expecting his father to be proud of him and to recognize him. But his father did none of such. His father said, okay, cool, it doesn't matter that you're the Hashira, there's still no point to life. And I feel like this genuinely hurt Rengoku, but as he exited, he saw his little brother come out, and his little brother looked at him and said, what was father's reaction? Did he recognize you as his son? Is he accepting me? If I become a Hashira, will father recognize me and think of me as successful? And Rengoku looks at him straight in the eye, and he's like, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's no point. Father will never care. But you still have me. And in my world, no matter what you do, even if you don't become a Hashira, as long as you follow your dreams, you are a successful human being in my eyes. And that's a great moment in my opinion, because it gives this overarching story of humanity and who humans are, one of the many themes inside of Demon Slayer, and I really love it when Demon Slayer explores its themes. Anyway, following the dreams, basically the main demon that's putting them in these dreams' name is Enmu, and he has a bunch of children who are really sad and depressed, and their lives are miserable. They have sicknesses, illnesses, and the demon is able to give them happy dreams if they follow what he tells them to do. Basically, he tells them to tie themselves up to these sleeping demon slayers and go into their dreams and destroy their spirit orbs. and after destroying their spirit orbs, they would lose their powers pretty much forever, I presume. Anyway, they all four go into it, but eventually they are stopped through different means. I think I'm only gonna mention Rengoku's because in my opinion it's the coolest, and also Tanjiro's again. The other ones just again kind of get stopped. I mean, we get the funny moment where Nezuko comes out of her box and she's like trying to wake up Tanjiro, but Tanjiro isn't waking up, so she accidentally burns the wristband, connecting them with her demon art stuff. So yeah, anyway, the film continues, and pretty much Rengoku's orb is about to be stabbed, but Rengoku has this instinct to live that his physical body, while he's asleep, grabs his hand and starts strangling the child. And when the child in the physical world is being strangled, its spirit body is also being strangled. So the child drops like the little stabby thingy for the spirit orb. It can't stab the orb. She's like hanging in midair, being choked in the real world. Now, the others end up getting out of their thing. Tanjiro specifically went to Tanjiro's spirit orb, but it was so warm that for the first time he felt happiness, and he started crying tears of happiness almost, and decides not to stab the spirit orb. But how Tanjiro gets out of the dream world, since Tanjiro's the first one to get out of the dream world, is he ends up ending his life. He figures out that the only way out of the dream is to slice up his throat, and he ends up doing it. And it takes a lot of guts to do that, because that was right after the emotional moment where he looks at his family and he's like, this is the life I should have had. This is how life and things should have gone, but they didn't because life is unfair. And that is just, again, it takes a lot of guts to cut your own neck even in a dream, let alone that. Anyway, immediately we get a new light to Tanjiro, and I really like this aspect. Basically, for the first time, Tanjiro is genuinely pissed, and he has intent to almost destroy this demon. So far in Demon Slayer, every time Tanjiro kills a demon, he tries to do so gracefully. He tries to give them forgiveness in a sense. But when it came to Enmu, Enmu had no redeeming qualities to him. Enmu just wanted to torture human beings pretty much and live his life and become one of the strongest demons. So pretty much Tanjiro is up there and he's about to fight Enmu, and Enmu keeps on using his ability to put Tanjiro to sleep. But it's not working for some reason. And at first I thought this was because like some stupid power of friendship, like Tanjiro's determination makes him so that he's invincible to the move. And that would have been really dumb and poor writing in my opinion. But something else is going on. The second Tanjiro falls asleep, he realizes he's in a dream, and he stabs and slices his throat so that he is able to live. So every time he's being put in a dream, countless dreams, he sees this. I'm not sure if the final dream is at this section or it's in a later section of the film, but he ends up going to sleep one certain time, and the dream is different. Instead of being the normal joyful dream, everything is bloody. Like his house everybody was just murdered at the scene in the tragic moment in his life. And pretty much this whole film is about him being mind destroyed. Like his brain mentally is being so damaged in this film. And pretty much his whole family's around him like saying, why did you kill us? How dare you? How dare you live life as if we never existed? How dare you do all these things and have a fun life? What if it was you? You deserve to be hurt. I can't believe you. The mother comes out and starts blaming him. But then he slices his throat and says out loud to Enmu, I know for a fact my family would never say that. And that was a great moment in and of itself. And I love that moment too. Like, it was great. Every moment in this film was great. Now, he ends up doing some of his techniques, and it appears that he's defeated Enmu, however he hasn't. You see, Enmu has kind of become one with the train. Like, Tanjiro was fighting a fake body, and now Enmu is inside of the train. So, technically, Inosuke was never wrong, the main villain was all along the train. So that's just a great moment, like, coincidence, and just funny overall, but yeah. Okay, I'm back. I have no idea where I left off. I'm gonna kind of go from where Tanjiro and Rengoku, well, Tanjiro's out of the dream, he's defeated Enmu, and pretty much Enmu's like merged with the train, and so Tanjiro realizes that the 200 passengers on board of the train are all in danger right now. They could all each be targeted and hurt immediately, so he immediately dashes to the car, and he's like, I can't protect them all by myself. Oh my gosh. He yells for Nezuko and says, Nezuko, protect as many of the people as you can. And we start to see that Nezuko action. She's clawing the like the blood arms that are coming from inside the train, because that's part of his ability in the train. And Tanjiro gets down and he's trying to fight some, and then as he's like, Inosuke, Zenitsu, wake up! I need your guys' help! Rengoku, come on, I need you guys! Immediately, Inosuke wakes up. It's perfect timing. He gets up and he's like, alright, and he starts fighting all the arms things and other carts protecting people, and he's like, I knew I was right. I knew the train was evil. I was right all along. My minions, because in his dream, Tanjiro was his minion. But yeah, things continue. The action is great, but they're starting to be overwhelmed. Nezuko starts to be grabbed all over the place by the blood hands, and she's gonna lose here. Her bones are about to break, and immediately as she's about to lose and like her limbs like fall apart, Zenitsu charges in and he's like, I'll help you, Nezuko. And he's serious, and he cuts all the branches, and then he falls right back asleep. Because he was never awake in the first place, he did it all subconsciously. Anyway, they're continuing and they're still getting overwhelmed. They're like, what are we supposed to do? Eventually we're gonna get tired. Enmu was a genius. He was like, these people are gonna get tired, then I'll take them out. Anyway, finally, Rengoku wakes up. And within like 5 seconds, he destroys all the arms inside the entire train. He goes up to Tanjiro and he's like, Tanjiro, I need you to do something. You and Inosuke are going to go to the top and find the main part of this body and destroy it. I will handle 5 carts by myself, and Inosuke and Nezuko can handle the rest. Sorry, Zenitsu, not Inosuke. Zenitsu and Nezuko can handle the rest. You understand? So then Tanjiro and Inosuke go to the top and they start fighting. They find the main body and eventually they do destroy it. Now he manages to put Tanjiro in so many dreams that he almost ends his life right then and there, thinking that he was in a dream. Luckily, Inosuke helps him. Anyway, they destroy Enmu. Enmu slowly disappearing, and Enmu kind of says, I can't die. I don't want to die. Why am I dying? This sucks. I can't believe I'm dying. Oh my gosh. I want to live. What separates me from the strongest demons? What is this, the true power of a Hashira? The Tanjiro, Inosuke, Zenitsu, and Rengoku, they managed to stop me so easily. How can the 4 demons, or like the top 5 or 6 demons, be able to defeat a Hashira? These people are overpowered. What the heck? And as he's dying, he just, again, starts to freak out again. He's like, I don't want to die. And then he disappears. He had no redeeming qualities inside of himself, like the other demon, I think his name was Rui, inside the series, had. Like, his redeeming quality was that he wanted a family, even though he was pretty messed up throughout the film. Anyway, the film continues, and I thought the film was gonna end right here. Tanjiro's badly wounded because he got stabbed by the train conductor, and he has kind of like a hole inside of one of his vital organs. So Rengoku runs over there and he teaches him how to stop a blood thing from like leaking, how to stop his blood from bleeding, pretty much. He teaches him how to do that through breathing techniques, and they kind of talk for a bit. And then suddenly one of the top 4 strongest demons, Akaza, comes out of the forest. And we get this cool song and OST to go with it. A lot of the OSTs are from like the series itself or adapted from the series to be a little different. And that's okay because they still sound pretty good. I do have one criticism I want to bring up before I continue this insane moment. The CGI of the blood hands, or like the blood things that were in the train, was a little rough. Like, it wasn't Berserk 2016 level, and it wasn't like Overlord level CGI, but it didn't reach Attack on Titan level, and this was a movie. So that was one criticism of the movie I had. And the second criticism was the boy was still able to move around in the body when like the wristbands were tied, and I thought like that didn't work. I don't know if that is a true criticism or not. You can correct me, that just felt a little off to me. But yeah, anyway, Rengoku immediately goes from being silly and just shouting with Tanjiro, being like, you know, all overly happy, to being serious, as he turns and he sees Akaza. And Tanjiro and Inosuke are gonna get up and help Rengoku. But Rengoku looks at them and pretty much says, stand down! Don't you dare help! Because he realizes that the demon in front of him is stronger than he is. And they start fighting back and forth, and oh my gosh, the animation is incredible. And when I tell you incredible, this might be one of the best animated fights in all of anime. It looks so amazing as we reveal more fire techniques, as the blood demon arts are shown more through Akaza, and how they are so much more powerful than Tanjiro. Like, the comparison, like, this is one of those moments when, like, take, like, Bleach. This is when Ichigo realized how much stronger Byakuya was than him. Basically, this shows how much stronger Hashiras are compared to Tanjiro, somebody we thought was pretty powerful. Tanjiro can't even comprehend their speeds. He can't even keep eye contact and see where they're going because they are just moving so fast. And it's incredible. Again, the animation is amazing. The OSTs in this moment were fantastic. Like, the OSTs got me so emotional, especially as the whole thematic theme and drive of the fight was humanity. Basically, Akaza was trying to convince Rengoku of becoming a demon, saying he was powerful and that he needed to hone his skills by becoming a demon and gaining this regenerative ability. But Rengoku was like, nah bro, I like being a human, I don't like you. And he's very like, he's like Rengoku. Like, he has this perfect personality that meets Rengoku that I haven't really seen in a lot of animes before. And he's pretty much like, I'm not gonna become a demon, bro. I don't like you. And the anime kind of continues with him just fighting back and forth. And they're going back and forth between techniques. And the fight just looks amazing. It's that top tier meathead stuff. But the theme driving the fight was great too. You see, one of Akaza's arguments was like, humans grow old and weak eventually. Become a demon and you'll never become weak. I never want to see a warrior like you, as strong as you, become weak eventually. And Rengoku's response to that is, old age in humanity is part of the beauty of humanity. And that is one of the, again, humanity, one of the themes of Demon Slayer. And this fight presents that theme so fantastically well, and I loved it. I loved the fight up until the end, where it became a goated fight. You see, the fight's going back and forth, and they end up using one of their top tier techniques, and they go, and the camera angles makes it look like Rengoku won the fight. But as it's paneling, we get to see Tanjiro's expression. And Tanjiro is in shock as he sees Rengoku with a hand through his chest. But one thing I have to say before this, because I forgot it and I want to include it, is Rengoku gets like a backstory vision, a second one. And it's all about his mother saying how humans and how strong he is, how he has to use his strength to protect others. And it's a very great moment, especially how it like goes full circle at the end of the film, but we'll get there. I just had to include that. So he's going crazy and he's almost dead. Like, he is, like, not moving, and to the viewer, we're like, he's given up hope. He's lost everything. He has nothing left. But then, he shifts, and he ends up using a technique, slicing up, down, up again, and slicing up to the neck of Akaza, and slicing half of it off. And as Akaza's trying to punch Rengoku, he grabs Rengoku, he grabs Akaza's arm, and the sun's coming up, and Akaza is, oh no, I'm about to die here. Only you should die here. You're human. You can't regenerate like me. I'm the superior life form. And they're going back and forth. Tanjiro and Inosuke end up running in and trying to help Rengoku. But in the meantime, Akaza destroys his two arms, releasing them from his body and running away. And Rengoku is too weak to get up and fight. And an OST plays called Rengoku's Last Smile, or Final Smile. Because Rengoku falls to the ground, everybody's crying, and Rengoku looks at Tanjiro and says, stop crying! Because Tanjiro is pissed, he's angry, and he wants to kill this demon pretty much. And he looks at Tanjiro and he just basically says, stop crying, you'll reopen your wounds. Remember, you are severely hurt too. And it panels back to the carts as we realize all 200 of the people are still alive. The carts are barely damaged. Rengoku was fighting with all these advanced techniques, but keeping the carts from being damaged and keeping Tanjiro from being inflicted with the cross. I'm sorry again, I am back. And anyway, he's on his knees and he's giving Tanjiro some final words of wisdom. Pretty much he's dying, there's no way that he can survive, and Tanjiro is starting to accept that. He's like, can't you close your wounds? And Rengoku's just like, I'm sorry, I can't. I have no way of living left, so let me use these last few minutes to tell you information. He tells Tanjiro to say something to his brother. He tells Tanjiro how to find information on the dance. He tells Tanjiro more information. But right before Rengoku ends up dying, we see Rengoku see the spirit of his mother. And it's a super impactful moment once again as we see Rengoku pretty much ask his mother if he did it, if he accomplished what she saw in him. And she responds, "Yes, you did, Rengoku." And it's beautiful, there's amazing music, and he gives that final smile as he passes away. And as the story continues, everybody begins crying, and this is the second part I cried at during the movie. I cried during the fight as he was dying from, death. I was just in shock, and tears were starting to come out. Some dust got in my eye, one could say. Anyway, the movie continues as we see even the bird shed a tear as the bird is going to inform the other Hashiras of what took place. Some of the Hashiras are in shock that Rengoku could fall to a demon. Others are crying and in tears of sadness, while some are just minding their own business. They don't care. However, the director, the leader of the Demon Slayer Corps, is pretty much like, "I'm not sad because soon I'll be dead and I'll be there to join him." I loved this movie and all. Again, it had amazing music. The characters were phenomenal. Rengoku is the GOAT! Oh my gosh, the way that it told his story was so unique and fantastic. And the fact that I thought he was going to be a long-term character, but then he just stood there and died, was so emotional, and how it drove the themes of being human during that fight. That fight's probably going to be in my top 20 anime fights of all time. Not going to lie. Maybe top 30, I haven't decided. This part's gonna be added in the end. After editing, I realized I forgot to include this detail, and I really wanted to, so here we are, I guess. Basically, I just wanted to say about how impactful that fight was and how in shock I was from seeing a character I thought was going to be long-term die so shortly after his introduction, after his backstory was revealed, and after for the first time I felt attached to a character so much in Demon Slayer to be above Tanjiro. What you don't understand is Rengoku became my favorite character in Demon Slayer. And I guess one of the reasons for that is just because of how great the final fight is, how great the climax of the film is. Especially with how the bird goes around and how some of the Hashiras are in shock over Rengoku's death. How they're like, how did even he die to a demon? It was just so well done, in my opinion, that it was just great. Again, I was in so much shock that as the ED played during the movie, I just sat there. For over half of the ED, I just sat there staring at the screen as Rengoku went on the side of the screen. And my friend was sitting there, I'm sure he was kind of awkward, he was like, when are you going to talk to me about your thoughts on the film? Why aren't you getting up? What's going on? Because everybody behind me was standing up and starting to leave the film. But I was in such shock. It was almost like I couldn't move. It was such a twist and such a great character story in that climax of the movie that I loved it so much. And I just thought that that was an important part to share for the ending of this review. Anyway, I'm going to get back to the original recording. I know I'm not going to really edit the audio for this bit, but yeah, I just thought that that was an important detail to include. Now, as for a score of the film, it's probably between an 8.5 or a 9 out of 10. I haven't fully decided yet. I'd probably go as far to say it's closer to a 9, but it's not quite a 9. It's more in the middle between 8.5 and a 9, but it might be 0.01 closer to that 9. So, kind of gonna put it down as a 9, but just know it's not really a 9. It's not an 8.5. And there's really nothing in between there. So, yeah, it's halfway between the two. I can't decide between a 9 or an 8.5 really. It's right on the line between the two. It doesn't really have that many flaws as a film. I will have to say that parts of the films were a little slow paced and I wasn't the biggest fan of, but overall the film was fantastic. Anyway, I'm back again. Sorry for the fourth or fifth cut interruption. That's it for today's video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you guys did, again, drop that like. 30 likes for another Demon Slayer video. And subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Again, I post mostly Chainsaw Man and Bleach related content, but I pretty much post on any anime I love or want to. In the long run, it's just the majority is those two. But I do want to get into some more Demon Slayer content because I do love Demon Slayer as a series. I also love My Hero Academia and many other animes and mangas I do want to dive really deep into here on the channel. Anyway, this has been Poxal. I hope you guys have a good rest of your fantastic day. Thank you guys for taking 20 minutes out of your day and watching this video. My name is Poxal, signing out.